In the summer of 1956, a new refrigerator arrived on a Tuesday morning on a quiet suburban street, delivered by two men who carried it through the back door while the family stood watching from the hallway. It was a Frigidaire, powder white and nearly as tall as the doorframe, with a chrome handle that curved and caught the light. The old icebox had been moved to the garage. This was something entirely different. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Post-War America Stories. The American kitchen of the 1950s was in the middle of a quiet transformation, and the refrigerator stood at the center of it. That big white machine humming in the corner was not simply a box for keeping things cold. It was full of features that, to the families encountering them for the first time, felt genuinely remarkable. Number 1, the magnetic door seal. Before 1950s, most refrigerators latched shut with a mechanical mechanism, the same kind that a small child playing inside could not push open from within. That year, Frigidaire introduced a door that sealed itself with a magnetic gasket, holding firm against the cold without any hardware that could catch or lock from the inside. A child who climbed in during a game of hide-and-seek could push the door open with both hands. It was a quiet safety change that most families never spoke of, but immediately trusted with their lives. Number 2, automatic defrost. Defrosting the refrigerator had been a regular household task. Frost built up on the freezer walls until someone chipped it away, spread towels on the kitchen floor, and waited for the meltwater to drain into a pan. The first frost-free systems handled this on their own, cycling the coils on a quiet timer without any human involvement. For a housewife managing a full household schedule, this was one fewer task on a list that was already long. Number 3, the butter conditioner, cold butter tears bread. That was the quiet problem that the butter conditioner was designed to solve. A small compartment, often fitted into the refrigerator door, kept butter at a temperature slightly warmer than the main interior, soft enough to spread without sitting on the counter all morning. Frigidaire's period advertising described it as a feature designed around how families actually use their kitchen, not merely around the science of refrigeration. Number 4, the crisper drawer. Before sealed humidity, drawers became standard. Vegetables dried out quickly on open refrigerator shelves. The crisper drawer created a slightly higher humidity zone at the bottom, sealed off from the drier air above, where carrots, celery, and lettuce could last a full week or more. For families shopping once a week on a careful household budget, this was not a minor convenience. It was a practical answer to a real and recurring problem. Number 5, interior lighting. An electric bulb inside the refrigerator sounds unremarkable now, but for households that had grown up with the dark, heavy-lidded icebox, the refrigerator light felt like a small and welcome luxury. It came on every time the door opened. Every item inside was immediately visible. It was the kind of domestic improvement that was easy to overlook until it was gone, and very difficult to go back on. Number 6, the meat keeper. Tucked below the main shelves in many 1950s refrigerators was a shallow drawer held at a slightly lower temperature, cold enough to slow the spoilage of fresh meat without freezing it solid. Families who bought from a neighborhood butcher 2 or 3 times a week appreciated the meat keeper for exactly this reason. It extended a fresh purchase by a day or two, which in a household running on a modest weekly food budget made a genuine difference. Number 7. The egg tray. The molded egg tray, fitted precisely for a standard dozen, may be the most quietly ingenious detail in the post-war refrigerator. It kept eggs from rolling, from knocking into each other, from disappearing behind a milk bottle. Each one rested in its own cradle. The egg tray is the kind of small, considered engineering that makes everything before it seem slightly careless by comparison. Number 8. The door bottle shelves. The deep shelves built into the refrigerator door were designed specifically for the tall glass bottles that the dairy deliveryman left at the back step several mornings a week. A quart of milk, a quart of orange juice, and a bottle of cream could all line up there, leaving the interior shelves entirely free. The design assumed a domestic morning routine that has since vanished nearly completely from American life. Number 9. The color revolution. For decades, refrigerators had come in one color, white. Then, in the mid-1950s, the manufacturers changed that. Frigidaire introduced shades like Sherwood Green and Stratford Yellow. General Electric offered petal pink and turquoise. These were not novelty finishes offered for one unusual model. They were design choices, coordinated with new kitchen cabinetry, with linoleum floor patterns, with paint colors that post-war prosperity had made newly available. A kitchen done in matching pink and gray was a statement that the household had arrived somewhere comfortable. Number 10. The true separate freezer. Earlier, refrigerators had offered a small ice compartment near the top, large enough for a tray or two. The post-war refrigerator increasingly offered a genuine separate freezer, cold enough to hold cuts of meat for weeks, cartons of ice cream through the summer, and the frozen vegetables that Clarence Birdseye had already convinced American families to trust. Weekly shopping became genuinely practical. The rhythm of the household shifted around it. What each of these features shares is a certain confidence in the idea that the objects inside an ordinary household should be designed with care, not only to function, but to reduce the small frictions of daily life. The chipped ice, the torn bread, the wilted lettuce, the child who crawled into a dark place and could not get out. The 1950s refrigerator was a considered machine, and the families who opened its door each morning, without stopping to think about it, were living with the result of careful attention paid to something as ordinary as keeping a household fed. If any of these features brought a memory to mind or reminded you of a kitchen that once felt very familiar, the comments are open. Which of these details do you remember most clearly? If this account was worth your time, please leave a like, subscribe to Post-War America Stories, and join me again soon for another look at the world that post-war America built for itself. Until next time, take good care.